Hi, this is Kate Magic, and you're listening to the Raw Living podcast. Raw Living is Europe's leading raw foods and superfood supplier, and I founded the company back in 2002. In this interview series, I'm talking to some of the people behind the brands that we offer on our shop to find out what exactly is the ethos behind the company. Not just the ingredients that they use and the processes that they use to create the end results, but I'm asking them other questions like how do they show respect for the environment? How do they treat their workers and their relationship to the farmers who grow the crops? All the companies that we work with are putting huge amounts of dedication and commitment into creating products that are benefiting not just you, but also the whole ecosystem, the planet, the people. And with this series, I'm hoping to show insights into that. When you're shopping with these companies, you're really not just investing in your health, you're truly investing in a better world for us all. Today, my guest is Tom from Wunder Workshop, telling us about the amazing botanical tinctures that they make. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Kate.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's good to speak with you again. I don't know how long ago it was we first spoke, but I feel it was a good few years ago now.
Yeah, it must have been at least 2 years. So, yeah,
I
I
think it
haven't
was
been back.
pre-2020 when we did the first interview. How long have you had the business?
So, Wunder Workshop is entering its 10th year.
Right.
We, that's officially we registered, I think, on the 3rd of June, um,
Oh,
14. So it's almost maybe we missed the anniversary properly. It'd be a good reason to celebrate.
well, congratulations. It's not an easy thing staying in business for that long, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So, you do these amazing turmeric products, and you were one of the people that really helped to popularize the use of turmeric as a medicinal food, a superfood, I would say, in the UK. Um, Maybe just briefly, do you want to tell us about how you became so involved with turmeric?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, I can't take much of the credit, but it was my partner in life and business, Zoe, who, um, through her exposure in her own life from her mum, who was a holistic naturopath, um, to various herbs growing up and sort of taking it for granted as part of her upbringing. But visiting an Ayurvedic retreat in Sri Lanka, she came into a lot of contact with turmeric through obviously in food, in the drinks, and also she had a turmeric bath because she was covered in mosquito bites, which were getting infected. And the sort of natural remedy that they suggested was to have a turmeric bath, and
Wow.
that really helped. So Zoe definitely had the idea. For me, it was really interesting because at the time I was studying pharmacology and about to start working in the industry, and it was one of the only, if one of the only herbs that had a real significant body of Western medicines science behind it as well.
Right.
Back up a lot of the health claims that it was, being touted for, and had been used for thousands of years in Ayurveda. Of course, so obviously the anti-inflammatory piece, but the antioxidants, the mood lifting benefits of turmeric as well. So we wanted to create something that people could have turmeric in a more um, easy to access way rather than having a curry, but not necessarily saying that curries are bad. They're absolutely fantastic, but to have basically to incorporate turmeric into um, more of your daily wellness rituals and
Yeah,
habits.
yeah, yeah. I actually just had turmeric in my lunch, so there we
Perfect.
go. I make this thing called turmeric butter, which is tahini and miso and turmeric, and yeah, it's really good. Um, so today we're here to talk about the tinctures, which you developed in the last few years. Tell us about why you decided to launch some tinctures.
So during the pandemic, we actually had a really big supply issue with turmeric. Um, the Indian President Modi had basically said to drink golden milk to avoid getting.
Wow.
And as such, people, as they already did, were using turmeric as antibacterial and cleaning uh, their bodies with it and consuming a lot of turmeric. But it went into kind of overdrive. I think there were images that we saw of people cleaning the streets with turmeric. Um, that meant that actually where we were sourcing our turmeric from, which was actually in Sri Lanka, from these beautiful forest gardens, um, the export of turmeric was put on hold for a little time. And so we were looking at different herbs that we could use, which are much more local, um, things that maybe weren't quite as sexy at the time, or something like ashwagandha, but herbs that we knew and grew up with and could get where we are on our sort of on our walk, or that we would stumble across things like rosemary, mugwort, lemon balm, all of these herbs that you would probably see in a walk in the park in the UK.
Right. And so you've developed four, is it four tinctures you've got?
We've got 5 tinctures.
Five.
So each one is designed especially for a specific need. So the first one that we have is the bear hug, and that is, as the name kind of tries to suggest, it's all about giving you everything that you need to feel reassured and calm. It's our anti-anxiety blend, and it's got lavender, verbena, oak tops, lemon balm, and it's also, and each one of our tinctures is blended with a specific flower extract as well to help to lift the blend on an emotional level, as well as using all of the folk herbs as they were used, on a more traditional basis for their different purposes. So mimulus flower essence is incorporated in the Bear Hug blend, and that's about uh, easing any everyday fears and anxiety. It's kind of like a floral shield, as it were.
Yeah. One of my sons had a lot of mimulus and it really helped him so much when he was little.
Yeah, I mean, I think the flower essences are something that we were using a lot. And talk about like the rescue remedy and things like this, and they really do have a powerful effect. They might not have a sort of a whole very sort of high concentration of the flower, but it's really the sort of energy and the vibration that you're picking
Yeah.
up, which is so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got bear hug. What else?
Belly blessing is the next one, and this one is all about digestion. So really getting the digestive system started. It's a great one if you're traveling or if you have had too much for dinner or something like that, going out and eating something quite different or some heavier foods. It really helps to ease bloating. And it's got lots of digestive herbs in there, things like thyme, burdock, dandelion, fennel, artichoke, um, and peppermint. So that one is it's what I like about the tinctures too is that they're fast acting. Being extracted in alcohol, they are they get absorbed into the bloodstream very quickly. And the belly blessing in particular is one where it's like 10-15 minutes after
Mm.
feeling bloated, you really start to feel your digestive system working.
Amazing. So I was going to ask at the end how you take them, but with that one, would you just take it after a meal if you started feeling uncomfortable?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could take it before. I think it's, if you were prepared enough, you've just received your takeaway pizza or something like that, and you know that maybe you're gonna feel bloated afterwards. Then, if you've thought ahead, you could have it before. But for me, it's normally a kind of rescue situation.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times people have to go on like social occasions, isn't it, with family or friends, and they feel like obliged to eat stuff that they might not otherwise choose to eat, and that's usually when those kind of things happen.
Yeah, no, exactly. And in this one, we've got Serato flower essence, which is all about trusting your mind and trusting your
Mm.
gut. So we wanted to sort of make that gut brain connection with Serato.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Uh, the next tincture that we've got is Botanical Guardian, which is continually one of our most popular ones, and for your immune system. So the Botanical Guardian incorporates the likes of echinacea, elderberry, rosehip, rock rose, and propolis um, in the blend, and it contains mustard flower essence as well. And it's really to help when you are right at the beginning of feeling ill. If you're feeling really run down, maybe getting a slight tickle in the back of your throat, I'd have one or two squeezes of this in a glass of water before you go to bed, or as you're feeling it. And I mean, I think it's our most reviewed tincture that we have. And
Brilliant. What's the flower essence in that one?
the flower essence in that is mustard flower essence. And that's really the idea, was to help sort of, I guess, when you feel under the weather, the idea is to kind of lift you out of this kind of out of the clouds, lift the gloominess, and to help you feel less melancholic. Yeah. So the next one is our Moontime tincture, and this is
Uh-huh.
for female health. So to help with your menstrual cycle, managing pain, discomfort, and mood. So really targeting some PMS symptoms. And it's got things like there's lots of names for it, but Vitex agnus castus or chasteberry. And we also combine nettle, cramp bark, chamomile, and lady's mantle in there.
Ah,
And this one, I would say there are more sort of specific directions for when you take it. So we suggest to have this in the 10 days leading up to your period,
right,
and maybe the first day or two during.
right.
Um, but otherwise, and that will hopefully help to kind of relieve symptoms of PMS. Wisdom, which is the last one, and probably my personal favorite of the tinctures. This one's all about focus and mental clarity. So it has a lion's mane extract in there, which I think people are learning more and more about mushrooms. But lion's mane is the focus mushroom. It's very neuroprotective. It's been shown to help protect our brain signaling and neural pathways in our body. So that helps to offset the sort of mental decaying, for want of a better word, actually, that we experience as we age. So it's used to help improve your memory, to improve your or maintain your mental agility. But we've also got more traditional herbs in there, things like rosemary, which were traditionally used for improving your focus. And
Yeah,
the Romans were said to, or ancient Greeks were said to use to create a wreath of rosemary to wear on their heads when they were studying, and the scholars would use that to help sort of expand their mind and their mental capacities. Um, and actually, it's very you can we do this sometimes here is just adding fresh rosemary to hot water, and it's
right, right,
a really good, really powerful way to sort of get a breath of fresh air into the brain. Um,
right.
it's kind of naturally invigorating and helps you to focus. But then we have that in the tincture alongside sage and lemon balm as well, because actually a big element of focus is feeling calm, um, as much as it is being awake and alert. I think the biggest impact that people maybe overlook and will often sort of reach for another coffee as opposed to trying to sort of declutter the mind, but actually approaching a task in a more relaxed state will probably help you finish it than being more and more alert as
Yeah,
you think about it.
yeah. Amazing, amazing. And so it sounds like people can just really take them whenever they feel like they need them. Do you recommend that they just put a few drops in water always?
Yeah, so we suggest a pipette full, so one squeeze of the pipette, and you can add that to a glass of water. You can also just have it directly under your tongue, or any drink. I mean, the Wild Wisdom is one that is quite potent tasting. Um, it's just the rosemary is quite spicy in that. Otherwise, I would very happily sort of recommend that people can take them as and when they please, directly under their tongue or in a glass of water.
So it doesn't matter if they take them in the morning, at night, with food, without food.
No, not really. And I think that's one of the like really big benefits of having the tinctures is that you can take them with you wherever and
Mhm.
know that they'll kind of start to have an effect within 15 minutes or so.
Mhm.
But things like the Wild Wisdom, as I'm kind of preparing my desk to sit down to a bit of work, then that's the moment that I'll have it and hope that it's kind of going to kick in within the 15 minutes as I've sat myself down and got going.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, that's really interesting, Tom. I'm really curious to try try them now. Can never have too much support in this crazy time that we're living in.
Yeah, and what I mean, one of the things I didn't mention, but what I really love about these tinctures is actually that over 90% of the herbs, apart from things like the lion's mane, which is from Finland, but the rest of it is grown biodynamically in the UK. And that was something that was really kind of beautiful for us to kind of come back, having worked with herbs and mushrooms and things from all over the world, to look at the nature around us when we were creating these in the UK during the pandemic, and being able to sort of walk past a lot of the plants that we were growing,
Yeah.
um, and they are, I'd say, my favorite of the range that we create. They're definitely the ones that I use the most, um, because of their sort of simplicity and ease to access.
Yeah, 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 brilliant, brilliant. I love that you've included flower essences because I think they're very, very overlooked as a powerful way to, yeah, support, especially emotional well-being.
Mm, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Tom.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening. You can check out the products we've been talking about by visiting Raw Living, rawliving.co.uk. And if you haven't got an account already, then do sign up. You get £5 off your first order. And also, please do like, subscribe, and share this podcast. It really does help.